All right, welcome. I have been teaching high school for 15 years, maybe even more. And for a majority of that, I taught advisory. And the way I generally worked my advisory was I would kind of respond to what they wanted advice from. Advisory, you get advice. And one of the things that would always come up would be relationships. So this is a PowerPoint that I put together for my advisory on relationships and relationship advice that I thought it's about time that I put this out there, expand my classroom, if you will, to social media and the internet. So I'm going to go over my relationship advice, specifically catered to teenagers and high schoolers. So obviously complicated. I took this from Seinfeld uh, because who am I to give, relationship advice? Well, I do have a a happy marriage. We have 3 young children and things like that, and that might give me some authority. But in general, these are just things to think about. Okay, I'm not the sage on a stage. These are just I'm someone who is meant to prompt thinking. So in that regard, this is complicated, and I use some generalizations, but that is essentially what I'm aiming for. Uh, I've found this meme because teenagers speak meme. So a boy asks his mom, "How will I be able to find the right woman for me?" The mom answered, "Don't worry about finding the right woman. Concentrate on becoming the right man." So along these lines, you can't expect to get a person who holds themselves to a much higher standard than you do for yourself. And I think this happens on both sides. You see it a lot of times with teenagers and with adults, where you're aiming for something that is perhaps not aligned with the standards that you keep for yourself. That could be the way that someone looks. That could be in their motivations. That could be in a lot of different things. Their abilities, all kinds of stuff. So it's a lot about focusing on yourself and being the best version of yourself possible. And if you work on becoming the best version of yourself, not someone else, but the best version of yourself, then you will probably find someone else who is working towards being the best version of themselves, and that would most likely align with characteristics that you are attracted to. So put it out there very, very simply is advice for guys on getting girls to like you, because that is a big thing with teenage boys, is how do I get girls to like me? So I laid out some very simple tips, and I'm going to share them with you now. So first of all, young men should know that girls want to feel special and unique. Women want to feel special and unique. Take notice of and share the small details. Little things matter. This is something where the little things sometimes are more important than the big thing, because it shows that you are focused on details about them as an individual. So interest, but more than just show interest. This isn't Neil Strauss, the game. This isn't the game. This isn't like a way to kind of hack the system and pretend to show interest to get girls. That's not what I'm talking about here. It's actually be interested. Be interested in this girl that you have your sights set on, that you would like to get to know this person, try to foster a relationship with this person, really become interested in them, her life, stories, etc. Green Beret, that's not like a special forces Green Beret. Green Beret example would be, I think it was Greg Giraldo, the great stand-up comedian, talked about how one thing he gave like advice, which is like, you take notice of when your girlfriend or a girl you like has like a barrette in her hair, and then you call that back several weeks later, in something like, remember that Tuesday when we went to my grandma's house and you had that cute little butterfly barrette in your hair? Oh, I really love that. That kind of thing. Now, again, that would be like a way that you can kind of hack this and pretend, but that kind of thing really resonates with women because it shows that you're detail oriented and you remember the little things, which helps women feel seen. And that matters a lot to women, and young women especially. Make the girl you like feel beautiful. It's a feeling thing. Help her feel beautiful, though, in her way, and show that she is unlike any other girl in the best of ways. Because again, going back, girls want to feel special and unique. special and unique, unlike other girls. So you are beautiful, unlike the Victoria's Secret models. You are beautiful, unlike your friends. A very unique way to show that they are beautiful in your definition of beautiful. And that doesn't go with standard definitions of beauty. It doesn't have to be a Victoria's Secret model. There are a lot of different ways that people can be beautiful. And we know that because we are attracted to people that look and act very, very differently. Why don't girls want to date a guy who's asked out 5 other people prior to her, even if she likes him? For this reason. So I tell young men, like, if you just want a girlfriend, okay, and there's a whole group of girls, and you ask one girl out and she says no, they ask the second girl out, she says no, then the third girl, she says no, and the fourth girl, even if she liked you, she's not going to say yes now because she feels like she's the fourth in line, and no girl wants to feel like the fourth in line. So be careful asking out everybody. Have your sights set on someone, and then you court them. It's very traditional, kind of a conservative idea, but it works. Be intentional. So you can actually turn someone off that would have been interested in you if they don't feel unique and special. Why do girls like bad boys? And I have tested this out talking to many teenage girls, adult women, my wife, a lot of different people. And here's what I've kind of come up with. It's not that they like bad boys. What it is, well, first of all, bad boys are not boring. It's thrilling. A thrill is attractive. You know, get your heart pumping, you know, bad boys, whatever that is. But bigger than that, girls don't want the bad boy. They want to change the bad boy. They want to reform the bad boy. They want the guy who was terrible to all other women, cheated on all other women, and gave up that life for you. They want to feel like they were the one who tamed the beast. Beauty and the Beast story. He was a beast. He was bad. And I changed him. Because if you can change a man from being bad and treating women terribly and being, you know, unable to be domesticated and wild and all that kind of stuff, if you can change him into being more domesticated, being loyal, becoming a one-woman man, then what does that make you? Special and unique. Your beauty, your being you, change this man fundamentally from bad to good. That is why girls seek the bad boy. They want to change the bad boy. And the truth is, they probably won't, because there's a lot of reasons why guys treat girls terribly or are quote unquote bad. But that's the aim. So for young men, you can hack that. You can hack that. You can help the girls feel unique and special without pretending to be a bad boy, because a lot of young men do. A lot of young men say girls like the asshole, part of my language, but they like the a-hole, and then I'm going to act like that. Where instead, it's you go around that. Why do they like the a-hole? And you can give them the feeling that they get seeking out the bad boy. Now, the other way. Advice for girls on getting guys to like you. Be nice and pleasant. And this seems silly. This is not antiquated 1950s, just do whatever they say at all. But it's simple, nice, and pleasant. Don't shy away from being kind, being soft. You can do this while being honest and straightforward. If someone takes your pleasantness the wrong way, that is their issue, not your responsibility. If you are nice and they take that as you flirting or you showing some sort of sexual attraction when you don't, that's not on you. It's not your responsibility. If you are nice to someone, they take that the wrong way. Being nice and pleasant helps to open up yourself to men out there if you're trying to get guys to be interested in you. Young men want to feel capable. Capable. So I said young women. Women want to feel unique, special. Men want to feel capable. So help a young man that you like feel capable. Guys want to be respected. Respect matters. I've seen a lot of relationships deteriorate, adult relationships deteriorate because the woman did not respect the man. And it's very hard to have a long-lasting, successful relationship if the man is not respected by the woman. Make the young man, this is especially for teenagers. Ladies, if there's a guy that you want to foster a relationship with, help him feel like the man. Many guys are insecure. Young men, teenagers are incredibly insecure, very insecure. Okay? Even the ones who present themselves as having it all together, they don't. So help them feel like the man. Help them with that. Boost their ego a little bit. Help them feel proud of who they are, accomplished, capable. You can do this. That kind of idea. Believe in them. Believe in them. That's why the idea of like behind every great successful man is a successful woman or a supportive woman. That idea is because she boosts him up, helps him feel like he can go on and do amazing things. And that works for teenagers as well, especially for young men who do not feel good about themselves. You can help him feel good about himself. And when the man feels good about himself, when the young man feels good about himself, he will most likely be a better partner for you. Guys want to be the hero of your story, not even theirs. Men look at the superhero story because the superheroes do good for others. Young men want to save the day for you, not for them. So in ways that you say, you saved the day, you helped me. I got a flat tire and you changed it. I couldn't finish this math problem and you helped me with it. I was really struggling with someone being mean to me and you stopped them from being mean to me. They can be the hero of your life. And guys want that. They want to come in and save the day for you. There's a reason why these superhero movies where, the girl falls and Spider-Man jumps down to save her. That's an archetype idea of saving the woman. That's what the men aspire to do, is save the girl, save the day. Super Mario saving Princess Peach. This is as old as time. So you can play that out in your teenage worlds. Some of the best advice I can give you is be yourself. Now, typically teenagers roll their eyes just like this, like, oh, be myself. Yeah, well, that hasn't got me very far. But it's not because you're just amazing the way you are. That's not what it is. It's just faster. You pretend to be someone else. It's just delaying the inevitable. You can't pretend to be someone else forever. So you play those games and you pretend to be someone that you're not, it will get revealed and it's going to be a colossal waste of time. So that, I'm not talking about be yourself like fart on the first date. You want to be the best part of yourself, but you don't want to be insincere. You don't want to be someone that you're not, because that charade can only last so long. So you want to be the best version of yourself, but you want to be yourself because you want this person. Think about it. You want this person to like you for who you are, not for who you're pretending to be. It won't work unless you are upfront with who you are. And sometimes you got to do your own work to figure out even who you are. Okay, now asking someone out. Making the move. Girls, you can ask guys out. Okay? 2022. You can ask guys out. If you explain a sweet way that you are interested in getting to know someone better, spending time with them, and they say no, good. Thomas Edison famously said to figure out how to invent the light bulb, he figured out 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. That's process of elimination. If you are very upfront, sincere, you look them in the eyes and you're very honest and you say, I would like to take you out for a nice, ice cream sundae or whatever it is. And they say, no, okay, right? I mean, that's, what more can you do? You're far more likely to regret not taking that chance. And what's the real fear here? The real fear is that they are going to say, ew, get away from me, creep. That's what guys especially are really scared of, but women too, because rejection against young women is in many ways worse, because girls are kind of held up as the one who decide who goes out with who, because guys are more likely to like kind of go out with anybody. Now it's a generalization, of course, but this idea of if you ask someone out and they say no, ew, gross, get away from me, creep, that is terrifying, especially to young people. But if you are sincere, you're kind, and in a very sweet and sincere way, you ask them out and they say no, ew, get away from me, creep, in your dreams, is that someone you want to have a relationship with? Someone who would treat a kind individual asking them out that way. Is that really the kind of person that you are going to long to be with? That's a revealer. You should go, wow, you just saved me $8.99 on that ice cream sundae, because I would not want to be with someone who would treat a very sincere gesture like asking you out in that way. Dealt with such sincerity and sweetness, with such rudeness and cold-heartedness, I just dodged a bullet. That's the truth. And you know that's the truth. Don't be ashamed of what or who you like. A lot of people are ashamed because they like a girl or they like a guy that other people think is a loser or is ugly or is silly or immature or weird. They don't have to date them. You got to be honest with yourself. Don't like the person that everyone else likes. Like who you like. And have the courage to stand up for that. Don't be ashamed of what you like. That's part of who you are. Now, relationships. You're going to go through breakups. But breakups are good. Breakups are good. Yes, breakups are good. I asked my students, do your friends like you? Do they enjoy spending time with you? What if they didn't? What if your friend said, I don't like hanging out with you anymore? It's sad. It's sad. I'm not saying that breakups aren't sad. They're not hurtful. They're difficult. And as an adult, we've all been through them. But it's getting you to where you're supposed to be. You don't want to spend time with someone who doesn't enjoy spending time with you, and this person doesn't. I've had a lot of breakups. Some of them were hard. And now, at nearly 40 years old, thank God I went through that breakup. Because if I didn't go through that breakup, I would not have found my wife. My kids wouldn't exist. We don't really know what's good or bad yet. The book, I tell these 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds that I teach, you're on page 16 of a 100-page book. You don't really know. The pain is real now, but you don't know the big picture yet. If you care about someone and their happiness, that includes your absence from their life. That's the truth. And that's hard. It's very difficult. It's why there's wonderful songs about this. But you have to, your emotions cloud the way that you see these things. And I think it's very important to try and view this as objectively as possible. That's why I'm telling you this now, before you probably go through this. But if you are going through this, just recognize you don't know yet. It's hard, it hurts. But the long term, it's probably for the greater good. You will find someone. There is someone for everyone. I have friends of every shape, age, race, etc., who have found love. People that would not fit the society standards of being beautiful or handsome or wonderful or eligible bachelor or whatever it is, all that kind of stuff. Like, they found love. That's an awesome thing. That's what's so cool. And I tell the teenagers this all the time. It's so neat because as weird as you are, and you're all weird. We are all weird. And I tell this to teenagers all the time, like, you are a mess. You're weird. And they like hearing that because they know it. And people telling them that they're perfect the way they are, they just go like, oh, I don't feel that way. No, you're weird. But someone's going to be into your weirdness. That's what's so cool. Be careful of your checklist. I'm looking for a girl that's this, 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 this. I'm looking for a guy that's this. I'm looking for a Victoria's Secret model who's also a pediatric surgeon and a wonderful mother. I'm looking for a ripped bodybuilding hedge fund manager who's excellent with kids. It's like, yeah, okay. Like, get away from the checklist. You don't know what you're looking for. You really don't. Your perfect match is going to be someone that challenges you. You're a mess, they're a mess, but together you form something really awesome. You're not perfect, and they're not perfect, but together you can find something that's really a perfect match. It's possible. I believe it's possible. You have to be willing to adapt. If you want specific aesthetic requirements, then you have to give up other things or hold yourself to a high aesthetic standard yourself. You want a guy who has a six-pack. You want a girl that has a perfect hourglass figure, whatever it is. Well, how important is that? Is that more or less important than their ability to be a parent or their ability to earn a good living or their intellectual ability to hold a good conversation? You have like a hierarchy of things that are important, but if they're very high in certain things, then you probably have to be high in certain things too. It seems like people typically find their match. It's very rare that you see someone who is very high in certain standards that are across the lines of what we would deem to be attractive, and they're with someone that doesn't have similar characteristic traits. People tend to find kind of their match. If the girl is an 8, then she's usually with an 8 in some realm. That's typically the way that it works. I tell young people to understand that relationships are a living, evolving thing. The most important advice I can give is to find someone who's willing to do the work with you to create and maintain a loving relationship. One of the things that I say a lot is to find someone who you enjoy solving difficult problems with. That's your soulmate, someone who you enjoy solving difficult problems with, because if you're going to try and get through life with them, life is going to have a lot of difficult problems. So someone you can solve them with and enjoy the process of solving them with. Enjoy that process. Be present in the lonely times to appreciate your future relationships. You might be lonely right now. Young people, you might be really lonely right now. Well, journal about it. Make videos about it. Say things like, man, when I get a girl, I'm going to be so good to her. And then keep that. Remember it. Because we soon forget. We take it for granted. Remember these lonely times. Remember the down times. Expect to work for a great relationship. They are not easy. Even if you find your soulmate, it's going to be a lot of work because life is hard. A spouse should challenge you down to your core. It's the challenge. In Good Will Hunting, Robin Williams' character defines soulmate as someone who challenges you. I think that that's true. I find that to be true in my own life. Even if you are not interested in a relationship with someone, if someone wants to spend their time with you, deal with them with kindness and respect. If you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, they like you, they want to spend time with you, you're a mess. Like, you're a whole bunch of problems. They like you. At the very least, show them some kindness. I say this to young men all the time. Like, they talk about I hooked up with a girl or something like that, but I don't really like her. It's like, she wants to touch you. Ugh, you're disgusting. It's like young men. Like, I know I am. It's like, yeah, but she likes it. So at the very least, don't be mean. Don't be rude to these young women that want to spend time with you. And communicate openly and as honestly as possible. You can play the game. I'm not going to call her because it's too soon, or I got to act like I'm not interested. All that kind of stuff is a waste of time. And in today's day and age, where it's like, you don't ask someone out, you ask someone through TikTok to ask their friend if they're interested, and they tell their friend, you're removing yourself from the possible rejection. Go for it. Show courage. Don't play these games. You're going to get rejected. It's going to hurt. but you'll develop over time. Enjoy this process. Look for people that their flaws you don't see as flaws. You see their flaws as beautiful, as important. And that's it. So that's kind of stuff that I do for my advisory. I hope that was interesting. If it was, please write down in the comments. You can subscribe, share. I'm going to do more curriculum like this on my YouTube channel in the coming year or so, if it's things that you think are valuable. Thank you very much.